Welcome. My name is Maria Victoria Garcia, and today I'm going to present my midterm project. In the past, I've gone element by element, but this time I'm going to do a playthrough first and then review the blueprint at the end. Before we begin, I'd like to mention my gratitude for some asset packs like the quadruped fantasy creatures, as well as the sunset modular medieval pack. Without this map, I don't know what I would have done. The other ones that I found pre-made were either too large or not on theme, and this provides a wonderful immersion aspect to the project. I will mention what I added to the map and what was already there during the playthrough. Some other assets that I really enjoyed using are Ancient Treasures and Paragon the Fairy. You'll definitely notice her. Here's my level, and you can take a look at some other assets I used or could have used. Wonderful. So, before we begin, the story is that this is Opal the Fairy visiting Saltwreath town the morning after the Sylvan Day festival. She's visiting because the Saltwreath treeflower never bloomed in Flosriel during the annual treeflower vigil. Upon visiting the town, Opal the Fairy finds the town empty and its tree in dire straits. Here we go. So here is the tree. I placed this tree as well as the pillars around it.
The forest thins.
So we're going to press E to ask Saltwreath Tree what happened. This is the cinematic using sequencer. And the tree shows her. A dragon came and did his thing. Beautiful. So I had just placed the dragon there as well as the particle effect and put it in sequencer. I also placed these carts, that Colosseum, and I moved these fences to create a clearer path to where we need to go. But everything else, like those mountains, this grass, and this path came with the map, as well as that wishing well. But I placed these pillars to make it look like it was holding the Colosseum a little better. I placed these rocks so that we could actually get in the Colosseum. And here is the tree heart.
We need healing.
Oh no, the tree heart is asleep. The tree heart's supposed to protect the town from the dragon. We don't know what happened. So I was able to place this Fae in the world and use her as my character, and just choose the different animations during the cinematic, and then she comes with the different animations for actual gameplay. Private event, press the secret key to open. So I'm going to press E. I'm going to press E again, and then come through. It's going to come back down. So I placed these cages, thinking I might use them for narrative purpose, but this whole town was already here, with the foliage and the fire. Added these carts to make it seem like a festival was going on, and I placed this newspaper here. Press E to read newspaper.
Not all threats remain at home. Humans and others travel.
So the sentiment around the day was that the festival had arrived and they wanted people to go crazy. We don't know why. So it's going to take a while to get up to the next area, but I really enjoyed using this map. All of these props were here, these rocks, and it creates a wonderful aesthetic for the fantasy theme. You'll see some doors already have the press E to open. I did not code those. I will mention which ones I did. Like the gate, I coded the gate and the lever to open that we just passed by. I did not code this door. And then we have this area. Press E to read the merchant journal. 666 gold coins for delivering the tree heart to Draco the Hellkite. So the merchant seems to have a lot to do with the situation. And what's this? A bunch of empty chests and one large chest the size of the tree heart. Press E to read the news board.
No more.
Bring forth all gold and gems for the tree heart ransom. So it seems that they thought they could pay the dragon to leave, but the dragon wanted both gold and the tree heart. And once someone stole the tree heart, it was no longer protecting the town. So we're going to go to the church. Hopefully I don't get stuck out here. To look for the tree heart prayer, to awaken it and create that level of protection over the town again. This is not my door. This is my trigger box. Press E to learn the tree heart prayer. So that changed the Boolean for our tree that says that we have now learned the prayer. So this is the gate that I coded. So earlier when we went up to the tree, it said press E to ask what happened. But now that we've learned the prayer, it says press M to recite the tree heart prayer.
When one part grows, we all feel it. When one part suffers, so do we all.
So now the tree is back to life and protecting the town. Thank you for watching. Now if you're going to stick around for the blueprint, let's review what we have. Alongside the rubric, okay, so I would say this level has a good narrative and theme with life and history. Our blueprints use custom events. So if I put here trigger and I check out the newspaper trigger, we can see in its blueprint that it calls on the newspaper to read the paper. And if we look for the newspaper, we have the custom event read paper to set the text. And then the paper says set text to what I told it to, as well as play the sound. When you press E, it says the paper says custom event. And we'll look at all our code and see how these kinds of flows come up again. Our timeline is used both in the tree heart to rotate it, but most importantly, I use it in the gate. So open gate, we have it go over a float track that has it move location. And then in the gate trigger, we have it flip-flop. But let's see where we use our enum. with the lever. So if we look at our lever here, it goes up and down using the direction enum. It calls on open gate and close gate from the gate. And that's why we can open and close the door using the lever that goes up and down. So we have our sound and text discovery events. That's when we find the chest is empty of gold with notice to pay the Draco ransom for the tree heart. And we have it set the text, and then set the text and play a sound. The newspaper has the event promo. And we have it read the paper, set the text, and then the paper says set text and play sound. So if we look at the newspaper trigger, begin overlap calls on read paper, and pressing E calls on the paper says. When we look at the journal entry, we have press E to set the text and it says to set the text. And we look at the businessman trigger. On event begin overlap, we call on press E from the journal, and when you press E, we call on it says from the journal. Then we have tree heart is asleep. So the tree heart has its sound and text. So on begin overlap, we play the sound and text, and then it has this awaken tree heart where we have it spin and change color and then change the color of the tree. And that's called on in the tree trigger, which is up next. So Saltwreath tree has its event protected that sets its material to metal gold, and that's what we just saw in the tree heart trigger. Now when we looked at what happened here tree, it's going to be a little busier because it also is the trigger for the cinematic. So on begin overlap, we have it check whether we have learned our prayer or not. If it's false, then it'll say let's press E and play that sound. If it's true and we've learned our prayer, it'll ask for the press M. And then of course when it ends overlap, it won't say anything anymore. If we check out the tree trigger, we'll see its different texts. So the tree trigger has that sound and text that makes it a discovery event. The interactions are all over the place. So this is one of them. Enable input and then disable input. And we've reviewed how it has the text render actor and sounds involved for all of these enable and disable opportunities. We have the set view target with blend for the tree heart, and that's present in the tree trigger. So For awaken the heart, we play the sound, we have a delay, we set the view target from the player to the tree heart, and then another delay. We've set awaken the tree heart, another delay, and then back to the player. Then that's when we saw the view go from the player to the tree heart for the prayer. We use sequence for the prayer trigger. So if we put in here prayer text and click on the newspaper, trigger box, and we edit the BP for the trigger box. We see on event begin overlap, first enable input, then print the string, and then set the text. On end overlap, disable input, print the string, and set this text. The switch is in the gate lever. Right here. The flip-flop is here as well. In the trigger box for the lever. It might actually be in the trigger box for the gate. Yes, so when we press E, it's going to flip-flop pull lever or push lever. The do once node is in the cinematic. Right here. So the what happened vision, do once, and then play that movie sequence. Sequence begins, sequence ends, event tick, press E. And then you witness a sequencer, but this is it. If we open our sequence master, then we can see our different shots and play it. It's hard to tell, but I know I have a sound in here for the fire. Or maybe that was in my tester. So I could add it right now and you could watch that. So let's say audio, fire. So that's the one we want, and we're going to use it specifically here. And I believe it's till the end, right? Yes. So we'll go ahead and save all, come back to our sequence master, then come to this shot, and we can powerfully say that we're going to add the fire audio for the whole shot. Where is it going? Oh, here it is. It was closed. Go ahead and do this. So when we come to our sequence master, or even better, when we start playing, oh boy. That's because we did this. So let's close our sequencer. And head over to our Fae.
forest thins.
So here's the whole cinematic. Hopefully now we've added sounds. The dragon didn't come with any sounds, that's why there's no roaring or wings flapping. But now we've at least added this fiery effect. Perfect. And that is the project. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much. This is the profile you can find it on, as well as the actual cinematic from the other day. We'll just add this for fun. Why not? Look at that. Yeah, so check it out. Have a good rest of your week. Bye-bye.